everybody, it's Georgia Rose, and I am in the soul space, and I have special guests tonight. I'm so excited. But before we get to our special guests, stop waving, Stephanie. You're always doing that.
Just saying hello.
Only kidding. Before we get to our guests, I'm going to do a little astrology, but I'll introduce them anyway because they're so much fun. I can't wait to do this show with them. So you guys remember a couple weeks ago we had on Stephanie Kalanoff. Applause, applause, everyone. Stephanie is one of my partners in crime in my three-dimensional earthbound life of real estate. And we have her brother, big applause here, Michael Kalanoff. Yeah. So Michael flew all the way in from North Carolina.
Just to do this show.
Yes. His arms are very tired.
Yes.
He paid the extra fee, so he got a seat on the plane and didn't have to stand on the wing.
Exactly.
But he's still tired. But we're going to get to them in a minute. First, we're going to do astrology because I know you guys love astrology and you're all a little bit of astrology whores. So we're going to do a little astrology first. So we do have a big week coming up in astrology. Now, I know I say that like every week, but this week we actually have something that is one of the biggest transits of 2025. So first thing, I'm going to tell you guys good news. Mars is leaving Cancer. Mars has been in Cancer since the fall, and that's all this heavy emotional weirdness that we've been feeling and all the stuff that's being dredged up from the past. So now it's going into Leo, and everything's going to get a little bit lighter, a little bit more bold, and moving forward. The other thing that'll contribute to that is we have Mercury going into Aries finally on the 16th, which is Wednesday. And when it does that, the mood really lightens up because Mercury in Pisces was all foggy and dreamy and making us kind of not be able to see clearly. When it goes into Aries, Mercury is going to help us to determine the clarity of our path. So that's really great. It's about imagination. It's about ideas, maybe something that you need to say, or a creative new project, maybe writing something. It'll become much more clear to you after Wednesday. The only thing I will say with Mercury in Aries is be careful of being impulsive. Hear that, Steph? Don't be impulsive.
That's not me. Much.
Not much. And then on the 17th, Mars not only leaves Cancer, but it also, once it leaves Cancer and goes into Leo, starts to be in opposition to Pluto. And Pluto is that planet that makes everything come up from the depths. So with Mars, which is our action in opposition to that, it is going to get rough towards the end of the week and the weekend. So let me explain that part, because I think that astrology is like a weather report. When you know what's going to happen, you can be prepared and it can guide you. So on the 19th, which actually is next Saturday, the sun leaves Aries and goes into Taurus. And when it does that, it immediately squares Mars and engages Pluto in a T-square. What does all that mean in English? Well, it means really powerful energy. It can be power struggles. This opposition of Pluto and Mars is its third time around. It did it when it was retrograde, when it moved forward, and now it's doing it again. Pluto is in Aquarius. All new things, innovative things. Leo and Mars in Leo is going to make you want to take action on the new things. The good thing is this is a period that'll really mark changes in our lives and in the globe. Towards the end of this week and this weekend, you're going to see a lot of changes going on, but we're also going to be in the energy of wanting to take action with those changes and move forward, which is a good thing. The negative part of that energy is Mars is gathering a new plan for us, and as it speaks to Pluto, it's going to change things. So just be really aware that this is about bringing forth transformation, new ideas, new visions, and we're going to have to ask ourselves where we need to grow for our higher purpose. But because Pluto is involved, it's also going to be an energy where people can be aggressive, people can be a little selfish, and tyrannical forces may take charge. So you're going to see that happening across the globe. In our own lives, just be really prepared that you may come into a place where evolution wants to happen, but you might meet something that's a resistance. So stay on the path, stay grounded, and make sure that you really know what your authentic energy wants you to do, because you've got to really keep on this path even when you're challenged. This is one of the most pivotal times for 2025. So stay in that Mars action energy, and whatever Pluto brings up for change, just try and flow with it and stay true to yourself. How does that sound?
It works for me.
Okay. So now, tonight, I'm so happy that we have Stephanie and Michael on the show, because one of my basic principles that I believe in, and that brought me into my own spirituality, was believing that we can actually get signs and messages from our loved ones who have passed on. When I first started on my spiritual journey, things were happening that I couldn't explain. I had just lost both my parents, and it led me to really believe there was something else. There's something after this life. And that's been a really strong belief for me, and something that's been entrenched and winding through everything that I do in my life, knowing that there's more lives to come and our soul lives on forever. And we can actually communicate with people on the other side who love us. And I wanted to have Stephanie and Michael on the show tonight because they have such a strong bond with their mom who's passed over, and their dad too. But I know Mama C, as we like to call her, Elaine, really comes through for you guys a lot. And when you were on the show last time, you were telling us so many stories. So what's been happening lately, my friends? Anything standing out for you?
I think Michael and I have always been super close. I mean, I just did a whole thing. His birthday was this past weekend. He's
Happy
29.
birthday.
Yeah, thank
Finally
you.
turned
We're all
29.
in our 20s now.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
Our second childhood is so much better because we have time and money now.
we say
Right.
that. We actually say that. It's so true. But we were always close. But I think with my mom passing, it even brought us even closer. Michael and I, the week before my mom passed away, Michael came in for my mom's birthday. And before he left, we had a fight.
Oh,
A disagreement, I should
Disagreement,
say.
yeah, it
just
wasn't
brother
a
and
fight.
sister
It
stuff.
wasn't right.
Yeah.
But it upset my mother. And it was over something so silly. And before Michael left to get on the plane, I said that was really not a great way to leave.
Of course, especially if
God
you're
forbid,
sick. Yeah.
something happened to Mommy, she would have seen that last moment. And he goes, "Oh, don't worry, I'm coming back." Like, what do you mean? He goes, as we're driving to the airport, he booked the flight
Oh,
to come
wow.
back that next week.
Oh, okay.
So you want to share, like,
So now, Michael, when you booked that flight, did you have a premonition that your mom's time was coming to an end, or
No,
that,
but I didn't want to leave on that note. I just didn't think it was fair to my mother, to my sister, and then to myself too. I didn't want it to be the last, the last interaction if something were to happen.
right? That's
know-
so commendable because I think sometimes, especially with siblings, like we don't think of the sibling. We get very wrapped up in our own place, our own energy.
Yeah.
So it's
the
nice
thing
you
about
do
my
that.
mom being sick was, she was sick for so long, and you knew the day was going to come that she would pass, but you never think it's going to be tomorrow or tomorrow,
Right.
or maybe you don't never think about it
It's
really.
so true.
And so you'll say, well, it'll be fine. She'll be here, and I'll come back in 2 months. But
she had 9 lives.
she really did. She came through
Yeah.
a lot of different
Well, her
things.
spirit's so strong even now, so I can
Yeah.
only imagine.
So yeah, so I'm obviously grateful that I did that because my last visit home with the three of us was probably the best it had been in a long, long time. So I'm glad that I did that.
Yeah, we got it to Jake's. She really didn't want to
Didn't
go.
wanna go.
Jake's is a local
She really didn't
casino.
want to go. And Michael, like, "You're going, Ma. You're going." And I know she wanted to go, but she didn't want to go. I think she was scared. And we spent 10 hours
Yeah,
gambling.
we were
eating.
tired. She wasn't even
Right.
tired.
She wanted
Yeah.
to go back the next day.
She was in her flow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. But it's the hardest thing in the world, I think, is to watch a parent leave us.
Well, thank God for FaceTime, because the day before, I think maybe that morning, I called Michael and I said, "Mommy's breathing doesn't seem right. This is funny and sad." But, and so I got her on FaceTime, and Michael and I got a chance to say goodbye, thank her. And Michael said to her, "Ma, you could go in peace. We're going to be good. We're going to take care of each other."
Oh, that was beautiful.
Yeah. And then Michael said to me, I go, "Michael, I think Mommy passed away." And he goes, "Well, check her pulse." And I said, "Where is that?"
I didn't know how to check a pulse.
Right. And I was like, it was a crazy moment, but
It's so crazy though, because like having lived through that, both my parents died very close together. They were 6 months apart. And it's so crazy because at the most, pivotal moments when you think you're going to be in this tremendous grief and you're feeling that, there's these moments of laughter, and you don't expect that to happen. But for anyone out there going through this, you know what I'm talking about. And for those of you who dread this moment, like I think laughter is like the best medicine in the world. I
I
really
think it's a
do.
little bit of a defense too. I think your body, your mind helps you defend
Yeah.
your feelings that way sometimes.
We can only take life in bites we can chew.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You
It's so
could
true.
you could share about when we went to the casket to look at Mommy, what you said.
No, she wasn't in there.
She wasn't.
That wasn't her.
I know.
No.
He goes to me, that's not Mommy. I go, I know. And he's like,
Well,
thank
they made
God.
her up wrong. She has a different hairstyle.
That's one of my
different
pet
makeup on.
peeves. You go to a funeral and everyone's like, "Oh, they look great." I'm like, "They're dead."
Right. Who looks good dead?
Nobody looks
right.
good dead.
He's like, didn't you give her didn't you give them a picture of Mommy? I'm like, they didn't ask for one. So it really wasn't my mother.
I had a guess.
They just kind of said,
This
"Oh,
looks
let's
good.
yeah,
We'll make it look like this.
we'll make it look like everybody else."
Right.
No one
Right.
knows.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
wasn't happy.
Well, I know
me.
you brushed her hair. And
Yes,
you did
I-
her whole thing.
I told that morning I got a premonition that they didn't do her hair right and I should bring the brush to fix it. My brother thought it was crazy.
But then I had a message about that.
I
We
know.
said that on the last show. I said, "Why am I seeing a hairbrush?" Very interesting. I have to say though, her presence is so amazingly strong. And I'm going to tell you guys something that happened when I was actually doing the promo for the show. I actually texted Stephanie right away. I'm making a promo for the show, for them coming on to put on the social media. And I do it and I hit share to put on social media. And all of a sudden my social media blips and a video comes up of two people singing the old song Sugar Sugar.
I didn't even tell you
And
that.
yeah, this just I had to send her a screenshot.
Yeah.
And that's the song that was your mom's song.
I was
We
song, yeah.
even said it at her
Yep, we sang it.
Yeah, at her memorial.
Right.
And it was just I can't even tell you guys how that could even happen because first of all the song is obscure.
Right.
And then it just like popped in. And so I said to her, well, I guess your mom really wants you guys to be on the show because she loves the limelight, I think. She likes being talked about.
I think we all do.
Sure.
I think it's a Kalanoff trait.
Yeah.
My father was the king of, being stealing the show. He had probably the best sense of humor.
Well, your dad
right?
was in NASCAR, right? He was,
Well,
involved.
Michael was at NASCAR, but my father did PR for the ISOP Speedway.
Oh, okay.
He did a lot of racing stuff.
So he was out there. A lot of people knew him.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the things I tell people oftentimes is sometimes when people are in grief, they don't want to have like pictures around or things around of their loved one. And I always say part of the grieving process is kind of doing something to honor that person and, putting a picture up in the house or playing their music or, celebrating their life. And I think you guys are an embodiment of that. Especially you still go to Jake's and you play her machine.
We do.
Right. So talk about that machine and the pigs.
We've won a lot of money on it. My mother started off with the big jackpot, and then it's probably like 8 weeks ago. And I always call my brother when I win a jackpot, and I'm like, "You're not going to believe."
She calls you a lot.
I do. But he wins too. We're both pretty lucky. The whole family, and my father hated gambling.
So talk about the pigs. And it started with the machine, with the slot
Right.
machine. And now how the pigs have become like this, trickle
Do
of
you have one in your
love
pocket?
I don't.
all over the
Oh.
world.
No.
Bobby, can we have the watering can?
Oh, it's right over here.
If anybody's out there watching. I don't know if
My
Carmine's
mom-
out there.
My mom loved a specific machine, a pig machine, and
Like the three pigs come up when you win the jackpot.
yeah, you have to get the big pig in order to get into a jackpot. And she won one, and then a friend of mine got me these little pigs that now Michael and I give out. They all say Mama C on the bottom, and we give them out to our friends, clients, and things of
And
that
it's like
nature.
ripples of love everywhere from these pigs.
It's truly unbelievable. The calls, and it's almost daily that I get a message from someone that I gave a pig to that they shoot me a picture of the pig or where it is, or that they saw a pig.
It's
How many
like the
times?
Jeeps where they do the ducks.
Yeah.
The Jeep people have ducks all over.
Oh, is that right?
Yes, this
Oh.
is like the Kalanoff pigs.
It really is. And Michael panics when he doesn't. I can't believe you don't have your
No, I
picture
didn't
with
have
it.
it. No.
You should go home and get it.
I'll be right back.
No. So little things like we were in I was in Ace Hardware over the weekend, and all of a sudden I turned around, I was looking for something, and there's a pig watering can on the shelf, and I'm like, who the hell wants a pig watering can? Like this big pink
Like,
plastic
can you
pig.
get it for me?
So I videotape her, and she's like, get it for me. And we know it's just Mama C saying hi.
Absolutely. Leslie, is it McLeod? How do you pronounce her name?
Yes,
Okay. Leslie was in.
Long McLeod.
What?
Long McLeod.
Oh, is that how it is?
Yeah.
Sorry, Leslie. I love you anyway.
Leslie, we love you.
She was in Saratoga, and she's like, "Oh my God, Stephanie, I saw these pigs. They're glass pigs." And she's like, I'm like, I need those. They were $175 a piece.
Oh my God.
Right?
You're going to have a whole house full of pigs.
No, I got one for Michael to take back. You have that with you?
What?
The pigs? Did she give you the pigs?
No.
Oh, God.
She didn't give them to me. It's the first I'm hearing about the pigs.
Oh, that's so funny.
But as you guys can see, the pigs are all over. These
Right.
pigs are like growing and becoming something. And the idea behind the pig is just spreading the joy of what Mama C gave to the world, and also other people who are in the same place of, having a lost loved one. The pigs kind of amplify the energy of that, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a comforting thing, and people really do so appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
They really, when I tell them the significance of it, they love it. And you actually had a client.
It connects. It's like a connectivity. It connects everyone together.
Yeah, for sure.
Didn't you have a client that also had a whole house full of pigs?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she collected pigs too, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting. So now, what has happened since you've last been on the show? I know you guys had a little excursion this weekend, but how has Mama C been showing herself during Michael's visit to you? Because I know something happened.
There's always something happening. For his birthday, he had a nice big check. She never likes us to lose money.
I noticed this. I want her to
She
adopt
never-
me from the great beyond.
Whenever we put a few bucks in a machine and we're like, oh, we went through, I go, don't worry. Mommy has us covered.
Yeah.
I mean,
Always.
See, now my dad was a big scratch-off king. He was like the scratch-off king of the world. And when he passed over, he was being cremated, but, they do the viewing. So I took scratch-offs and threw him in his coffin.
oh,
And of course, they went with him.
right.
Because I wanted him to understand you really can take it with you.
Right.
But I thought after that, he'd at least give me the numbers.
Yeah.
Dad, what am I playing here?
Has Mommy given you the numbers?
No.
No, they never give us lotto numbers.
No.
We should talk to her about that.
No, we
Yeah,
put in a call.
Right. Put in the call.
definitely so. So I feel like you guys have gotten closer since your mom passed.
I definitely, I always say that when I was at the prime of my grief, like crazy, nonstop grief, Michael totally, he was so patient. He's not so patient anymore. I'm just preparing it. Really.
I'm pretty patient.
There was that time you weren't,
Right.
right? No, but the truth is,
It was at one time.
there was plenty of time.
Well, it was difficult for me to be far away, when...
Of course, yeah.
So I was taking care of my mom, and, it was... I don't know how she did it, honestly. I don't know how she did it, how she managed to take care of my mom every day.
Well, I will tell you, she was an amazing daughter.
Yeah.
Stephanie was an amazing daughter to take care of your mom.
Yeah.
But I think also, and for those of you out there struggling with, a parent who's sick now, I think even those of us who think to ourselves before this time in our life, oh, I'll never be able to do it, you rise to the occasion and you do it. And afterwards you think, oh, how did I ever do that? But I remember when my dad was sick, I used to go every day. He was in nursing care. And I would just go every day and sit there for like 8 hours and help him and nurse him. And then at 5 o'clock, my sister would come and she'd do the evening. And I did that for a whole summer. And you look back now and you're like, how the heck did I ever do it? But you do it because that's your parent,
Right.
And I find even people who don't have a great relationship with their parent in life, when it comes to that time of taking care of them, when they're at that last time of their life, you just step up and you do it. And I think the rewards are there. I know from my own situation, when my dad passed, the night he passed, I went home and we had a prior conversation about, he wasn't religious. He was an atheist. He didn't believe in anything. He just believed when you were dead, you were dead. And so I had said this in a conversation with him, if there's anything there, Dad, you let me know, He's like, yeah, sure. And I went home the night that he died and I thought I wasn't going to be able to sleep. And I just fell into a deep sleep. And I dreamt this dream of being in a boat on over the water and this sunrise that was so absolutely stunningly beautiful that I don't even have words to describe it because it wasn't from this world. And I woke up and I was no longer in grief. I literally was like an epitome from my dad that he sent me this dream and I knew there was something beyond. And that was the first time I ever felt like I had confirmation of that. And that changed my whole life, just that dream. And I know he sent it to me to show me. And I feel like that's has been your journey as well. Like so many signs that happen all the time, like things that just are uncannily synchronistic and they come so randomly that you just, she's saying, hey, I'm here. There's something, I'm going to see you again,
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Amazing stuff. So I want to say hi to some people. We've got Sarah and Joanne. Adele, a new person on. Adele Spencer. Welcome, Adele. Good to see you on here. I just lost my comments. Hold on. Whoop. I'm going to go back. I have Joanna. Joanna's also doing some videos and things. Watch her on Facebook, Joanna Garfield McNally. I just sent her some of my cards she had ordered. I've got Jen Paredes on. She's one of the people from our Earthbound Life, right? So now, when you were on last time, we had some really ass-kicking stories, excuse my language, with like even just the pig machine, and people would come up to you and think you were your mom and all these kind of things. So, Michael, tell us some of the stories that you have, like what's been happening down with you in North Carolina. Anything stands out for you?
As far as my mom would give
Yeah, or your
messages,
dad, or just, like things that are synchronistic.
honestly, not many.
Okay. So Stephanie's the bearer of the signs.
Yeah, pretty much. And so I'm not a religious person, but I'm very spiritual.
Yeah.
And so I believe in God. I don't know if it's a man or a woman or
God or goddess.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
Nobody knows.
But what I do know is that it's not me.
Mm-hmm.
That much I know.
Something bigger than us.
Absolutely. And so, I talk to my mom and my dad all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I really feel like when things happen and they happen, for a reason, that it's a God thing.
Yeah.
And that's just, I have a long-standing history in recovery, many years.
Yeah.
And so that's a big part of recovery is spirituality.
Believing in a higher power.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't not believe in things like that, like my mom sending messages to my sister, because I do believe it.
Right.
But I believe more for myself that it's more God.
Yeah. No, I absolutely agree with that too.
Hence,
I think that there's
tattoos all, trust God.
trust God. And I love that because that's what I do every day. And I think that's a good way to look at it too, because I've always felt like people will ask me how I do communication or when we do cards, like how things come through. And that's the answer. I said, it's not me. It's that you're channeling that higher power. And I think that's the synchronistic world of when we hear from our parents or lost loved ones. It's because we are all of a God. We are all of that energy. And so we can channel. The soul lives on. The part of us that lives on is really God, within us.
What I believe, though, is like my parents gave both of us good business acumen, good sense of humor, and how to make deals, how to structure things. I mean, I think I get all that from my parents.
Yeah. And you're both very grounded. Like you're very real. Like you both have a quality of the minute you meet you, you're comfortable with you.
Me more.
Yeah.
Probably.
Both of you. Stephanie more.
So, yeah. So what I don't believe in, though, is I don't believe in luck or coincidences. So, that should tell you probably everything you need to know, because I don't think things happen by accident. I believe everybody.
It's all part of a bigger plan.
Yeah, for sure. And wherever it's coming from, I don't know. But it's whether it's
there's a source up there somewhere watching over us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that I believe for sure.
Yeah, that's how.
But I don't really consciously feel like I'm getting like messages from my
like a
mom
spirit
or
communication.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I just
it's a higher power, just kind of showing you the energy.
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Well,
Like
you have such specific things happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you don't have that kind of a God relationship like that I do.
Right.
It's just different. Doesn't mean
Like
you don't believe in it.
She'll have
of course.
No, and she'll have like a client or somebody come in and they'll be like, "Oh, my mother always loved that same song," or like it's like
Right.
it's very minute things. The pig thing. Like somebody was like, "Oh, my mother loves pigs too," and just passed, or
so much.
It's just so many things. And like I was just saying that story of when I was doing the promo, and then all of a sudden that comes up.
Yeah, and I think too. I mean, it's like I think you almost have to sometimes be conscious and looking for it.
Yeah, you have to be aware
to be expecting it. And I'm not like that. Like I'm not looking. I wonder if that's a message or a sign or anything like that.
Right.
But you are.
Yeah, and when it happens when we're together, I always say that's mommy.
Yeah.
Right.
And I believe you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
No, I know you don't judge me.
But I think, and I also think, getting piggybacking on exactly what your philosophy is, Michael.
No pun intended. Piggyback, right?
No.
Okay, good.
I also think that judging, like coming from that place of source, God energy, I think that there is some validity to that, because the reason why God wants us to see these things and think like you do is in order to bring us to that place of unity and like, oh, there is something bigger.
Mhm.
And so by giving us the sign or the things that can't be coincidental, they are have to be synchronistic. It's like, oh, there is something else. You know, just like the dream that I had. It's like, oh, wait, there is something else. I just know it. There's a knowingness that comes through, you know, and that's the interesting part.
I truly talk to my mother all day long.
Mhm.
It's so ridiculous. Like, sometimes I think, is this totally weird or what? But, you know, like, I'll do something. I'm like, Ma, that was really great, wasn't it? Like, you know, I believe she hears me. I really do. Like, you probably wouldn't do that. You're not going to go, oh, I got another client, Mom.
No.
You know?
No.
I go, thank you, Mom, for that client.
But I believe she knows.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she knows, or the soul knows. The soul always knows. And that's also why when we come into a new life, we have things that we just like know, because our soul has gone through a revolution.
Right.
And so there's an energy within us that shows us the way, really. You know, nothing is an accident.
Yeah.
Nothing. And I also think for those of us who have had challenges with, you know, any kind of recovery or any kind of anything, even like overcoming a disorder or anxiety or anything, anyone who's had like a very severe challenge, I think is closer to God. Like I know me having a battle with cancer brought me closer to God than anything else in my life, because you reach a low point and you have to reach for something.
Right.
And that's the natural thing that's there, is to think there has to be something more than me, you know?
I will give my brother so much credit, because recovery, my father was recovering as well. And Michael used to bring me to meetings, so I stay on a good track, you know, and that always stayed with me, because I saw the stories and the people, and I know your story, and you've really turned your life around. Unbelievable. Like, really, from the bottom all the way back to the top, and like, it's huge, really. I'm so proud of you.
And I want to talk a little bit about what you do, Michael, because I know you work with animals.
Nothing.
He works with animals. Animals. No, you do dog training, right? So talk about that a little bit, because anybody who works with doggies is like,
Your friend.
yes, you know, you guys know what I do. I don't scroll the internet. I just watch videos of like Wheaten Terriers and Golden Doodles, and that's my relaxation.
That's good. That's good. Two good breeds.
Better than watching
My
the other
favorites.
crap.
No, I just watch dog videos all the time.
Smart.
Yeah. So I started. Back in 2016, I started a pet sitting business. We did dog walking and pet sitting, because when I had, I worked in NASCAR and I had traveled. I stopped working in NASCAR. When I traveled, I could never find anybody to take care of my dogs the way
It's hard.
they needed to.
Yeah.
So I thought
humans.
when I would be done with NASCAR, I'll go and start a pet sitting business and do it the right way. And I did. I built a big business up there.
And what's the name of your business?
So that business is called Bark Avenue.
And where is it?
It's in North Carolina.
Okay.
On Lake
Lake
Norman.
Norman. Lake Norman's
area.
a beautiful area.
Yeah, it's great. And of course, when you start something yourself, you do all the work yourself. So I did that. Then I realized that there are dogs that pull on the leash and they bark at other dogs, and so I actually took some online courses for some dog training, and but it moved very slow. So I started to develop my own methods of training dogs.
Oh, you have developed your own training system.
Yeah,
wow,
absolutely.
that's amazing.
And
He's smart.
and
He
I started a business. I hired another trainer, and now it's just me. I just do it all myself. But
I love your little tattoo of a little paw print on your hand.
Yes.
I want to get one of them.
So you can have this one.
No, it doesn't come off.
Right. If you can take it off, you can have it.
So my theory, it's not really a theory. I think it's a fact, but other people may think it's a theory. I feel working with dogs and cats, but I guess any animal, but dogs especially, is very spiritual because dogs don't talk.
Right.
And so
People think they do.
Well, I that was my one wish when I had Sparky. The only wish I said, if someone who could grant me one wish in the world, my only wish would be, please let my dog talk to me. So you can tell how close we were. But I feel like with animals, they're telepathic. Like anyone who has more than one animal knows they know each other. They know what each other's doing. They're communicating on some level. So I always feel, especially training a dog, you've got to really get underneath and really bond with that dog on a spiritual basis.
Yeah, and I feel honestly, so people really do think their dogs understand English. They
Well,
really
they
do. And they understand words, but it's all based on context. right? You say, you want to go out, they know what that means.
Yeah.
You want to go for a walk, they know what that means.
Yeah.
Ride, car, treat, things like that. But if you're asking your dog, would you, let's go for a walk today, Brutus, because it's a beautiful day. We're going to get some exercise. All Brutus heard was walking, Brutus.
Right.
Right.
See, Sparky knew hand signals. Like if I went like that, he sat.
Right.
Because he was very well trained. He was like the best trained Wheaton in the world.
That's good.
The vet used to be like, "Are you sure he's a Wheaton?" He's very calm. Because he was just me.
Yeah.
But I think certain dogs, I think if they're in families, they get a little,
Yeah, it's all about
hyper.
it's all about the people's energy.
Yeah.
And so I try to teach people. I feel like I really do understand dogs well, like dog psychology very well. I study it all the time,
Oh, wow.
and it's very fascinating how dogs think, honestly. And that's what I try to convey to people, so they have better expectations what their dogs are capable of doing.
Wow. We have to do a show just about that, I think.
He's really incredible. I've gone with him on so many sessions. Like when I go to visit, he's like, "You want to go with me?" And it blows my mind.
Yeah.
Because people, especially when Michael first walks in and their dog is out of their mind and he gets them right away, like they're like, "My dog is never going to be good." And in 2 seconds, Michael has them doing calm and everything. And they look at each other with this big smile. And it gives me such pleasure knowing, like, he's really helping people. People, they cry.
Well, that's why I was going to say animals are really spiritual, because I remember sometimes I would just walk Sparky because I knew he would make people happy that saw him. And like we'd walk in Argyle Lake Park or something and everyone would be like seeing him. And I'd be like, on the way home, I'd always say, "Sparky, you're so happy. You saw all your friends 2 and 4-legged, And just people would see him and bend down. They just have a moment of joy.
Right.
And I just wanted to spread that with him.
There are a lot of dogs that aren't in that mode. And even some older
They
dogs.
need help. And they need help.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, getting on the same subject of, messages from beyond, I lost Sparky a couple of years ago, and I still feel like he's in the house. His presence is so strong. Even people come to visit and they're like, "It still feels weird not to have the dog here." But sometimes at night, because Sparky, he did sleep on my bed, because you know how that always starts out. First day they're a puppy, you're going to put him in the garage. Then it gets a little cold and you're like, "All right, you can sleep in the kitchen." And then you're like, "All right, you can go to the hallway." And then you're like, "All right, but you have to be on the floor in the bedroom. We'll get you this big bed." And then they end up on the bedroom. Anyway, it's like a process, right? So he slept on the end of the bed every night on my feet. And some nights I can still feel him sleeping on my feet. And when I wake up in the morning, the bed is warm where he is. And I'm like, I know Sparky's spirit lives on.
You sure you didn't pee?
No.
All right.
Pee.
All right, just checking.
Would have been cold then.
We're getting older.
I'm not that old.
Oh. Just saying.
You should get another dog then.
I know. I'm just waiting for the right moment.
Yeah.
Because Sparky was the soul dog, and I feel like I'm afraid I'll compare. So
it's very common.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll get another dog and I'll be good.
Yeah. The dog will be as good as you want it to be.
I'm going to bring him down to North Carolina to get trained.
Sure.
He won't let me get a dog
Why?
because he feels.
She doesn't have the lifestyle for it right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I have a story here from Sarah Johnston. Sarah is one of my oldest clients. I actually met Sarah at a
Old in age? Or?
No, just
Okay,
like
good.
she's been with me actually from almost the beginning. I think I was only like reading 2 years, and then she came to a fair. And so her best story is her dad was bedridden for years, and on occasion she would place my cheek against his for skin-to-skin contact. I used to do that as well. At some point after he died, I was having a rough night, and the night I had hold on one second. And the night I had a dream where he placed his cheek against mine and whispered in my ear, "I'm with you." I felt the warmth of his skin and his warm breath in my ear. It wasn't until later I remembered that I would lay my cheek on his. And it's come up in a couple of other communications where he's referenced that. That's very common, I will say. I had a similar incident, and also someone that's very close to me, when their father died, he had a dream that night that his father was sitting in his bed talking to him. And I think, sometimes we do have a visitation, we call that, where we will see spirit in the form they were when they lived here, or, we'll feel a sensation. And again, I think what it really is just like with angels, it's all God, because, are there really angels, or is that just an energy and they have wings and they take a form because that's what us humans have assigned to them? So that's what God is going to make appear, because it just looks normal to us. But Yeah, I think that we can transcend the realms because I think the soul lives on forever. We're sitting here right now and we're having a conversation and there's love in this room, and that love permeates other frequencies. So our soul might remember, I might remember you. Maybe I was with you in another life, And so I think when we touch each other in very telepathic ways, that's the energy we're tapping into. And I don't also believe in structured religion. I know you guys grew up in the Jewish faith, right?
Right.
Do you think that had a bearing on some of your spirituality, or like as far as believing in the afterlife? What were you brought up believing? Not really anything?
Not really.
No.
I don't think
Yeah.
it was a factor. No.
Now, was your mother very devoted to that faith?
No.
No, I didn't get that feeling. Yeah.
No, we went as a family.
Mm-hmm.
We went every Friday night to temple,
Yeah.
and then all the kids would get in the car.
Go out and drink.
And go out and drink.
That same thing with me. Like, we were Catholic. Same
No,
thing.
really, to the New Moon Cafe in Setauket.
Right.
Get drunk.
Right.
And we got drunk
Yeah.
with the rabbi's kids.
But that was that time, like we
Yeah.
went to go to the Catholic church, and my father would be cursing people out in the parking lot, on the way home.
But at the end of the night, when we lived, we'd say, "Thank God."
Because you got home in the back
We
seat.
made it home.
No, seriously, someone watched over us that
Oh,
we
yeah.
should get home. It was a different era. Like, let's be real. I mean, it was a different
It
time.
was a totally different time.
Yeah. It was
a different
When we
time.
got stopped for drinking in high school, the cop would take us home.
Right.
Now you get arrested.
They throw your keys away.
Which I'm
Right.
not condoning that at all, but I'm just saying, like, it was just a different time. The world is so overpopulated now too. Everything's dangerous. But that was a beautiful story, Sarah. Thank you so much for telling us that story. So I'm trying to remember some of the other stories that happened, and my mind's going blank too. It must be the energy, but because there was some.
Is it Michael? The bad energy?
No, I don't
bring-
think it's bad.
Are you bringing
I have plenty of energy. I'm
Let's
feel
see.
good.
Michael's happy. He's leaving you tomorrow.
I don't know, but he likes me.
I know he does. You guys visit often.
Yeah, no, we really.
I'm not
yeah,
as close with my siblings.
Well, I will tell you a quick
Who
story.
is Kevin Herbert?
This is a test.
I don't know. He's saying hi, everyone. Hi, Kevin.
Hey, Kev.
I thought maybe he was one of your friends.
No,
Kev, where's that money you owe me?
right?
Yeah.
Real quickly, Michael and I love concerts, and so we're going to see Train in August, and I said he's going to be here.
Call me maybe.
And I saw that Steve Miller Band is playing at Jones Beach that same weekend. I'm like, do you want to go? He's like, absolutely. So I bought tickets, second row, spent
And they were expensive. I saw you.
$800 a ticket. But he goes, I didn't see. He said, hold on a minute. And he went and he bought front row tickets.
So you guys are taking me, right?
Yes.
How much were those tickets?
I don't remember. A lot.
There were a lot. So now we have 4 tickets.
So you're going to take me?
If you want $800 tickets,
I don't like them that much.
No, we live. Michael and I were just talking about this. We live. Not worried.
You spend money on what you really like to spend
We
money
really
on.
do.
Yeah, I know.
Right? Life
Yeah.
is short.
Absolutely.
But I think that's our age group too, because we're not taking these for me anyway. Everybody's different. I have a sibling who takes very lavish vacations. That's their thing. That's not my thing.
Right.
So you spend money on other things like local concerts, and we live the life we want. We all worked hard.
Can't take it with us.
I always say money.
Although my father did.
Money doesn't make you happy, right?
No,
It doesn't. It doesn't make your life happy, but it gives you options.
gives you freedom. It's freedom. Yeah. My dad did take it with him though, because I threw those lotto tickets in his coffin.
Oh, God.
And I know they were the damn winners. I just know it. So Kevin says, no, he's new to the first time watching and he's very intrigued. Kevin, welcome to the show. I hope you'll tune in every Monday night at 7 o'clock. And you can also find me on YouTube on Zenkuda, where we put all the old shows. I don't want to say old, but the previous shows. And in addition to that, if you want a reading or an astrology reading, you can go to zenkuda.com.
Are we getting a reading today?
Oh, you want me to pull
I
some
paid for
cards?
it.
You want to pull-
I gave her $1,000.
No,
I
she
think,
didn't.
yeah. Well, for $1,000, and you can get a.
Don't tell people that. They're going
You
to
can buy
think
a
that's
ticket
what
with
it is. It is not $1,000 to have a reading with me.
You
Yes.
go to Steve Miller.
You go see more with that $1,000.
Actually, it could be $1,000 at some point, so get your reading now.
While
Only
they last.
While they last. So let's pull some cards from Michael.
All right,
What do you
let's do
think?
that.
You want to shuffle them, Mike, for me, Michael?
Sure.
Shuffle them.
Do a good job.
Shuffle them and do 3
Michael
piles
used to-
and then back into one.
He used to be a card dealer, too.
In Vegas. That's the one thing I'm bad at is shuffling.
Let's see. I would left the
Look at
fly
that.
over. Like, that's pretty
These
good.
cards have never had so much energy, people.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, nice. Used to play a lot of poker.
Yeah. There you go.
I like having guests on the show. Takes the pressure off me.
I'm going to split them because I don't. There we go.
Okay, because you got to always have.
I got to be part of it.
You do.
Now, how much is it a hand? What's the minimum?
We're not playing
Oh.
craps.
Oh.
I feel
Joker.
Like I feel like I'm at the Borgata.
We
The
got a
King of
Joker.
Swords. When is your birthday, Michael?
It's
Oh, we just had it.
yeah, it was 2
Okay.
days ago, April 12th.
All right, because King of Swords is usually an earth sign. So this isn't you. You.
Bring that back then. Take it
It's
back.
somebody close to you, though.
Okay.
Oh.
Could even be your dad.
I have a
coming
friend that
in.
has a
When's your-
sword.
When,
He collects
when,
them.
when was your dad's birthday?
June 21st.
Okay. So the King
Is
of
that my
Swords.
father either?
Actually, this kind of is you because the King of Swords is.
He's the king.
Well, it's representative of someone who's really good in business, like good at the literal practical business, legal stuff, justice things, things like that. So that could actually be
And
you.
we do call him the king.
Oh, do you?
You don't know that?
No.
Seriously.
Oh.
My mother, he was the king. Everyone knows that. I can't believe you don't know
No,
that.
I never knew that.
Oh, yeah, we refer to him as the king.
Oh, hi, King.
Hello.
A good name for a dog, too.
Yeah,
Um,
it is.
so we've got you guys are so distracting. You got the King of Swords, which I think is you. And then we've got the Page of Pentacles. So, Michael, the Page of Pentacles is actually, pages bring us news. They bring us messages. So it's pentacles. So that's actually material wealth or something in the material world. So if you're waiting to hear something from someone, maybe something in your business or expansion or someone who's going to work with you or for you or some kind of something that'll bring growth to that area of your life, because I got the King of Swords here. This definitely is saying that you're going to get a message about that favorably. I'd say pretty near future. So if there's anything you're working on, it's coming.
Okay.
All right. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then this is the balance card. It's the Two of Pentacles. Usually with this card, it means that your money is balanced and in play. But because it's upside down, it could mean that there's either something that can become an imbalance or you've had something in the past recently that's been a little bit of an imbalance. So just watch this and make sure that you're respecting and being careful with money, especially in regards to this decision. Okay? Because it can very easily be cut out of balance.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're negotiating on something or thinking about some kind of venture, make sure you read the fine print and that you really set your boundaries and stand up for what you want it to be. All right. And then this is the King of Pentacles. So you got a king on each side of this reading. And the King of Pentacles is really about the money. This is like the abundance. This is like you're in charge. You got it all going on. So whatever this imbalance is, more than likely, if you just kind of slow your roll, don't be impulsive, it's all going to come out in your favor and you're going to get the lion's share.
Could have been in the past.
It could be. It could be absolutely.
Yeah, 'cause that would make more sense.
Mm-hmm.
But
Right.
whatever it is, because the cards came up in this reading, I'm going to say there's probably a little more to it, or maybe it's not completely done yet, like the finished product or whatever it is. So there may be more to it.
Gotcha.
All right. But I feel like it's favorable because you've got two kings on here, but it's all about pentacles. It's all about money and stuff like that. So
That's funny. It's funny, the two kings.
we got to get three kings, right?
All right, let's do it.
And this
Full
is the
house.
Hangman. So the Hangman is actually, if you look at the Hangman card, it's actually upside down here, but it almost looks like it go either way. The Hangman is an indecision. It's actually something that you want to take action, but you're not sure yet, and you're hesitating a little bit. So again, you're going to reiterate what these cards are. It's really saying, just take your time, look at everything. There's whatever this decision or this thing is that might be ongoing or may be revisited, there's no reason to do it in a hurry. You trust your intuition and really ground yourself in that because you know what the truth is. Because if you look at the Hanged Man here, around his head, there's light. This is a sign of enlightenment. Whatever indecision you had was a protection to go slow so that you become enlightened with all the details. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And then this is actually going to be I'm going to pick this card and a card after it. The Tower card is in the tarot deck. It's everything falling away that is no longer of service to us or that we need. Sometimes that can be painful because we may lose or something might fall away that we actually wanted or we thought we wanted. But it's actually falling away to make space for something better. Oftentimes when I see the Tower card in tarot, it could be someone who's undergoing a loss of things and they're almost like flailing or in a panic about, losing something important in their life. In a spread like this, it's more like you let something go to get to a bigger thing. If that, that's really kind of how the feeling of it here. So whatever had to fall away was a divine protection for you. So let it go because there's better things coming. And this is the end of grief. This is the grief card. It's upside down. It's showing that your grief is ending. You're coming out of a period that may have felt very heavy for you. And now you're looking towards the future.
Reading.
So that's the reading.
I love it.
Cool.
So you think that has resonance for you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
You want me to just pick some cards for you,
Okay,
Miss
if you-
Stephanie? We'll
If
twist
you
our
don't mind.
arm.
Oh God, I hate when that.
We have a few minutes left.
All right, let's do
So
it.
shuffle these, and we're going to do Stephanie.
You trust me, shuffle.
Shuffle, shuffle.
It's so funny. Everyone knows when I just put the crown on Facebook. I don't have to even say anything.
Oh, I didn't even. I don't. You know what it is? I don't. I got to be honest with you. I don't go in the news feed a lot.
Talk to him about that. I'm like, did you see? He goes, I don't look at that
I
stuff.
post and leave because
what he-
I feel the news feed is extremely negative and triggering unless it's all about dogs.
Right. Exactly.
Look how good I did this.
You guys related? Because I don't know how this is related.
I was thinking I'm the milkman's daughter.
Okay. So I was looking at the comments, it has the print,
Yeah.
the printout. And
yeah.
I said the news feed is negative,
Yeah.
and in the comments it said the nude seat is negative.
That too.
Okay, so I've got the King of Wands. Isn't this the card we just picked before? No, this is a different one. So what's with the kings with you guys? So
The
King of
kings are-
Wands, it's upside down, all right, which means that this is also a male figure around you. I'm just getting something here. Okay, about taking action. So this could also be in business, but it could also be personally. Maybe somebody's even coming in for you. Yeah, you never know. All right. This is, you know what? This is not upside down. I'm pulling the card and then putting it up. This is a 3. This card represents 3 for me. And this is like something happening for you that's like a message, almost like someone preaching something to you and you have like an aha moment. So it could be that this King of Wands comes in. He hasn't come in yet because it's upside down for me and it's pointing towards the future. But my intuition. But this is a card of like, they call it the preacher card because it's like the 3 people standing outside the church kind of thing.
Okay.
Or the synagogue or whatever. But place of worship. But what it really is it's, if you look at it, this person is preaching, he's standing on the bench. That could be you, Stephanie. Like you are training somebody or teaching somebody. Like I know you mentor certain people.
I do.
And so that could really be about that.
We just had this conversation on the way here.
Okay, there you go. So somebody's going to come in, maybe the King of Wands is your brother, and showing you how maybe to do this. But there's somebody who, I think this person hasn't come in yet. I think you're going to meet someone, especially now with the astrology the way it is. I think you're going to meet someone that is very instrumental in you following this thing you want to do. Okay. Decision time. This is like the Chariot card is the car's idle and it's at the curb. You got to put it in gear and go forward. All right. So follow your dream, follow what you want to do. And then this is the Queen of Pentacles. Matches that he had the King of Pentacles. So now this is the Queen. And the Queen of Pentacles is the boss bitch. She's like got it in control in business. She knows what she's doing. She's got it going on. All right. Like your mom.
I absolutely.
And you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
she was more put the pedal to the metal.
Right.
Yeah. Like she was very, focused like that. And then the Magician card. This is actually the Pisces card. However, in your spread, what the Magician card means for all of us, and this hasn't happened yet, but it is coming, is we have the power to create and make magic for anything that we want to do. For instance, if I don't know why I'm getting this, but I am. If you wanted to do some kind of mentoring to teach people how to market and brand themselves, something like that. This card is the card that shows us that we can create anything. If you look on the top of the head here, there's an infinity sign on the top of it. So it's showing you that you can create whatever you want if you believe in yourself. And the Magician card, all the flowers, this is all new growth under him, and all the yellow light, and the card is illumination. So if you allow yourself to contemplate, everything is going to come to you. It's not always all in the head. Sometimes it comes from here and up.
Just if I can interject.
Yeah.
On the way here,
Say $5,000.
my brother, I have personal coaching.
You're turning all red. That's why I'm
because
like,
it's so crazy because we were talking about this on the way here, and I have personal coaching, and Michael said, "How much is it?" And I said, "About $5,000." He goes, "Why are you doing that? You do all this stuff already."
yeah, yeah.
Right.
You don't need a coach. What we all need is accountability.
Right.
You need somebody who calls you up and says, "Did you do it today?"
I don't even know if I
You
need.
didn't need that.
Yeah.
That's why Weight Watchers works when people go. As soon as they stop going, they gain it back.
Of
Right.
course.
Because it's not about the diet or anything. It's about
Right.
accountability,
Funny.
But there's something here that you can do it yourself.
That's what
Very
I'm
much
saying.
so. And that's what the Queen of Pentacles is.
Yeah.
She's like sitting on the throne, like, I don't really need anybody. You're my subjects.
So
And then
crazy.
this is my confirmation card. And it's actually the 10, I can't read upside down. It is the 9 of Pentacles, which is actually abundance. It's like your cup runneth over. All the abundance you need is coming from within you. You don't need anybody else for the abundance. It's all there. So Spirit has spoken to you both tonight.
That it has.
Mhm.
Really. That's so great.
Yeah.
It really,
Yeah.
it hits home for me very much.
Oh, I'm glad.
Yeah.
I wish I could read myself.
I'll read it for you. You want to read the cards, Sarah?
Sure, I'll do it.
Wait, just pick one and read it for Georgia. Pick any one. Come on.
Oh, Lydia's
and
on. Hey, Lydia, how are you doing?
Pick a card. What is it? And all right.
Oh, this is going to be a new man in your life.
Oh, yeah, I'll have 4 legs and fur.
This is the king of testicles.
It's the king of testicles.
Yes.
Yeah, that's Sparky.
Okay, there you go. So you get a good male
I'm
dog.
going to have a new man in my life with 4 legs and fur.
Yeah, perfect.
It's the only man for
That was
me.
a good reading, Michael.
Thank you.
Well, I want to thank you guys for being on tonight. This was a fun
Thanks for having
show.
us.
Yes, I have to have you guys back. I should
Every week. How
about
we
tomorrow?
should do it like okay. Bobby will
back.
love
Yeah, I'll come back
that.
every week.
Yeah.
So if you guys want more 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒂 Soul Space, you can find me on 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒂.com. You can book a reading there. And also you can find me on 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒂 Official on Instagram, 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒂 Soul Space. Please subscribe on Facebook and also on my YouTube channel, 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒂. Please subscribe. I'll be back in the Soul Space next Monday night at 7. And I do lives and I do all kinds of stuff also in between shows sometimes. So definitely subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. What a great show. And thank you to Michael and Stephanie Kalanoff,
Thank you.
my buddies, my partners in crime tonight. Good night, everybody. Hi, everybody. It's Georgia Rose from 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒂. And here is our beautiful new website, 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒂.com. So I want to show you a little bit and give you a tour of this beautiful site that we have. And everything is all in one place now, and you can do everything 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒂 right on our website. So when you log into the homepage, there's a little space here where you can go right to 𒒂𝒂𝒄𝒂 Astrology, online classes, or book a reading or coaching session with me. Not only do I offer astrology readings and coaching sessions, but I also do tarot work and all kinds of things to help you get in touch with your own soul space and living 𒂂𝒂𝒄𝒂. There's also a place here where I describe my journey and what it was like for me to actually found the 𒂂𝒂𝒄𝒂 community and be able to bring you all of the healing techniques that we do and the philosophies of evolutionary astrology, spiritual wisdom, and yoga. And you can read about what my journey was like. And in addition to that, if you go on to book a reading, you can actually book a reading for any session that you really would like to have. For instance, a 1-hour astrology chart reading, a tarot card reading. I also do synastry chart readings for couples. And I can also do a long distance healing meditation and Reiki session. And you can even purchase our Circle of Light Oracle cards, which were created by myself in order to put healing and light into your day. If you go back up, there's also a space where we're going to be putting our online classes. Those will be very, very soon. If you'd like to be informed about those online classes about astrology and spirituality, yoga, all sorts of things, you can join our wait list and just give us your email and we'll be sure to let you know exactly when classes will be starting. And this button here brings you right to the Soul Space podcast. You can now watch the Soul Space live or past Soul Space podcast right on our 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒂.com page. You can listen to them on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or on YouTube and enjoy every minute and never miss a show. So I hope you'll look at this beautiful website. I'm also writing blogs about my journey, and we're in the process of importing all the older blogs that I've written in the last 5 to 10 years right on our Rose blog page, which is my beautiful blog. And you can, anytime you want, just come in and read all about my own journey to finding 𝒂𝒂𝒄𝒂. If you want to work with me in a small or large group or book me for reading or doing a gallery style reading or a public speaking event or even a retreat, you can do that on our Work with Georgia page. And hopefully we can help you create your future with some coaching or some astrology workshops. So that is our beautiful zencuda.com site. I hope you'll be on there. We're also developing a space for community on there where you can learn more about astrology and spirituality and all kinds of things, and we can support each other on our beautiful, beautiful journey to finding our own soul space and living Zencuda.